All right.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Sunshine State, where Sunday Fun Day has arrived here in Orlando, Florida, just in time to see the starters introduced for the homestanding Valkyries. And so as the starters for Orlando head out to the floor, there is one of their bona fide stars in the making in Charity Looper, making her way with a souvenir in hand. It should be a lot of fun to watch this matchup here today. It's the Orlando Valkyries, the reigning champions, taking on the upstart Dallas Pulse. We couldn't be more excited to be here courtside. Sean Davison alongside the All-American at Florida State, Madison Fitzpatrick. And Madison, a lot of intrigue in this matchup, starting with the fact you got the champs versus the upstart, but you also have two teams coming into this match from different positions. Dallas a little bit better every match they played. Orlando hit a stumbling block against Indy a couple of days ago. So how do you think each of these teams are approaching this match this afternoon?
Well, Dallas is coming off of defeating Atlanta
they had a really high hitting efficiency. I think they're looking to carry that momentum into this matchup against the reigning champs. A key for them, they said, is going to be blocking the slide attack in the middle. So that's something we'll be tracking throughout the entirety of the match. And I think for Orlando, it's the bounce back. You want to come out and show up. After losing to Indy in 4 sets, they hit around 100 in that match. So I think they definitely want to bounce back, reassert themselves, and get the win today.
And we'll see if each of these teams can deliver on those objectives here this afternoon. I mentioned briefly one of the starters for the Orlando Valkyries. We'll start with them, and I'll rattle off the starters for the Dallas Pulse as well. On the outside, joining Charity Luper will be Hannah Maddox. Orlando has rotated several different pin attackers in and out of that starting outside position. In the middle, it'll be Kaz Brown, as she so often is, along with the pit rookie, Bree Kelly, drafted in the first round by the Valkyries, getting a chance to start today. Brittany Abercrombie will be off the right. Champu will be setting, as she so often does, and Emmy Clifton will be in the Libero jersey, and they expect her to play this afternoon, giving Theodore Pusick a little bit of time to rest and rehab here early on in this season, making sure everybody's 100%. On the other side of things, the Dallas Pulse will start Mimi Collier and Sofia Maldonado Diaz at the pin, Lane Van Buskirk and Tristan Savage in the middle. Kelsey Payne will get the start off the right. Nadi Valentine Anderson will do the setting, and then there'll be a couple of players who can check in wearing the Libero jersey, Kylie Murr and Kendall White. Our officials this afternoon, our R1 or our up official will be Suzanne Lowry. Our down official will be Michelle Prater. Should be a lot of fun. A couple of teams with winning records. Again, Orlando hitting that little stumbling block against an Indy team. And now with Indy losing to Omaha Madison, everybody's beaten everybody. Nobody's undefeated. And so it really just adds to the intrigue 3 weeks in.
And that's what Coach Amy Pauley told us before the match. She said, I think that no one is going to go through and sweep a team or beat a team 4 times. She thinks everyone's going to kind of trade wins and losses, but the talent is as high as it's ever been in MLV, so you would expect nothing less with a competition like this.
Yeah, that's what Amy Pauley, the head coach, said for Orlando. There is Shannon Windsor, the first-year head coach, of course, with the Dallas Pulse. The Canadian national team head coach also was the head coach of the Australian national team, and so really adds to the depth and the pedigree on the coaching side. We are ready to rock here at Addition Financial Arena. Hannah Maddox, number 14 in white, is set to serve. It'll be Orlando on the left, Dallas on the right, and away we go. And quickly to the middle, there's Tristan Savage, number 22 in blue, and Charity Luper, number 1 in white, on the pin. Has been one of the more dynamic scorers for Orlando this season, and surprise, surprise, she is firing right out of the gates. And
it will be interesting to see how Charity Luper handles that battle with Tristan Savage in the middle, coming in and closing the block. She did a good job at swinging high on that one.
That'll extend the service run here, at least another point for Hannah Maddox. And quickly that comes to an end. Off the big attack, Mimi Collier, the first overall draft pick in this most recent collegiate draft.
Yeah, you would never expect that she's a rookie. She's coming in on fire, super physical, leading the team in kills, and has fit in quite nicely in the MLV.
That'll send Tristan Savage back to serve. It's a service error, point to the Valkyries. Back and forth we go. Bree Kelly will now head back to serve, and as Collier was the first overall pick, Orlando selected Kelly, number 21 out of Pittsburgh, 6th overall, also in the first round of the draft. So rookie passes off the rookie serve, and off the right side there's Kelsey Payne. She's not a rookie. She's been a pro for a number of years in this league for 2. Last year was with Omaha, and this year they're really counting on her to provide some stability on the right in Dallas.
And talk about experience. Natalia Valentine Anderson, that was an incredible set pin to pin.
2-all early in set 1. Luper off speeds over the top, picked up beautifully by Payne. Maldonado Diaz falling off her back foot, did what she could, but it's into the bottom of the net. Would have taken 4 contacts, point to the Valkyries.
I don't mind it. You want to rip it. You want to come in aggressive. I love the fact that she swung at that and didn't give the Valkyries a free ball.
They'll send Brittany Abercrombie back to serve, picked up off the floor yet again. They're serving pancakes here in Central Florida, at least Dallas is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Luper looked down the line, missed it, no touch by the Pulse. We are tied again, back and forth through the first 6 points.
Yeah, look at that up, phenomenal. And then Natalia Valentine Anderson is so quick to get that ball up. Charity Luper just over-rotating on that swing, veering a little too far outside the line.
2 pancakes and 6 points. Tuck the pulse as Maldonado Diaz serves. Looper into the back row and down for the kill in front of Maldonado Diaz.
Charity Looper is one of those attackers that can really accumulate points in a high volume for this team. They rely on her. She's got a quick snap on the ball, a little bit of space in between the middle blocker and the setter, and she took advantage.
And now she will go back to serve for Orlando. Pass is tight. Nice job of setting it off the net by Valentine Anderson. Huge block at the net as well. Valentine Anderson, as well as it looks like Lane Van Buskirk crashed in there for the rejection.
Let's see who gets this one. Valentine Anderson going up a little bit shorter, but it doesn't matter. She's got that long reach. Good press over the net. Really well done.
Abercrombie off the D-ball. And Dallas is not able to track it down. Abercrombie got off to a good start in the first set against Indy and just wasn't able to sustain it. Connection just wasn't quite there. And Indy really, aside from at the service line, dominated that match.
And you can believe Brittany Abercrombie is on a mission, kind of stifled in the last match. I think she's going to unleash.
Amy Collier, pop back over by Abercrombie. A D-ball look for Kelsey Payne. Charity Looper tracks it down for a moment, but it's another kill for Payne. Good start for number 8 in that dark blue.
A big part of professional volleyball in the United States is running the back row attack and the D-ball. We saw from Brittany Abercrombie, then we saw from Kelsey Payne. Both offenses utilize that D-ball attack in the back row.
That will send Nadi Valentine Anderson back to serve. 3 attackers now in the front row for Dallas over the next few rotations. You mentioned the D-ball, there's another one for Abercrombie. Now off the Bic, Maldonado Diaz goes off speed over the top and down.
And you know what led to that play? What started that whole thing was the blockers for Dallas getting hands on the ball. It was a beautiful block touch. It allowed them to recycle it up, play it in transition, get the set and kill.
6-5 pulse. Looper picked up by Kylie Murr. Out of system for Abercrombie. Kelly keeps it up. Collier off the top of the block and down.
We saw it in that Indy matchup. If Dallas is able to get hands up on Brittany Abercrombie, if they're able to dig some balls and they can defend her well enough so she doesn't go on these crazy 20-point games, they have a chance of beating the Valkyries. They just did that really well.
We'll extend the service of Nadi Valentine Anderson. Nice pass there by Looper, and Hannah Maddox goes into the cross court for the kill.
Coach Amy Polly told us Hannah Maddox is a gamer. She's got the game face. She's got that kind of mentality to where when she's on the court, she's going to use it to her advantage, and she's going to make the most of her opportunity there with that really fast arm swing, catching the hands of the middle blocker.
Savage out of the middle has been the most efficient attacker in the MLV so far this season. She's put down 18 of her last 28 coming in.
And coming off of 8, hitting 500. Also leading the team with 4 blocks. So just on both sides of the ball, she's been really good to start.
Yeah, overall hit percentage, 548. Just to follow up my thought on Savage, the service error by Mimi Collier will bring Orlando back within 1. Hannah Maddox will serve for Orlando. Had 4 aces on the road against the Supernovas, did Maddox, number 14. Savage throws it down out of the middle and in front of Champu for the kill.
And that all started with a really good pass by Kylie Murr, getting her feet to the ball, platform angled nicely to her setter. When the Dallas Pulse is in system, Natalia Valentine Anderson loves to use her middles. They run it often. They run a tempo set to the pins. They're really difficult to defend when they're in system like that.
Savage back to serve. UCLA product who really got her career going at the pro level over in Europe. There she is bumping Payne off the right, and Kelsey Payne has kill number 3.
That out-of-system set was amazing. That Savage, nice long platform, touches the ball for a long time, places it perfectly to Kelsey Payne, who's definitely coming in hot. 3 kills already, like you said.
There's something that it's always extra fun when you see the middles get in with an assist.
Absolutely.
Of all things.
A dig, an assist, maybe they pass a short ball. That's fun for them.
Nice first ball there by Theodora Pusick. And that got inside the block of Van Buskirk. And that was a lift in the back row by the Pulse.
Charity Looper has a very long hang time. She's got a really high reach and she just hangs in the air, so a lot of the times the block is on its way down. It's hard to time up your block against Charity Looper because of how long she hangs in the air.
She's 5'9", told us the other day that she can touch 10-6, and then she does have that innate ability to just basically hover as her teammate Bree Kelly serves. Maldonado Diaz looking for high hands. Don't think she caught him yet. It's point Orlando.
Maldonado Diaz is the second highest point scorer on this team. She's coming in with well over 3 kills a set. She can accumulate a lot of numbers. We'll see how much they get her involved early on. Now she's in the front row.
Close to the end line. It's an aggressive miss, but a miss nonetheless by Bree Kelly. (11-9) Dallas as Kelsey Payne goes back to serve. Looper. Tugged by Collier. Here's Maldonado Diaz into the cross court and down. And Madison just to circle back to her impressive scoring output. For folks that remember Sophia Maldonado Diaz from her time at Arizona, from her time at Louisville, played on the right at the collegiate level. Shannon Windsor, the Dallas head coach, told us a lot of folks thought she was crazy for bringing in an opposite and turning her into an outside, but it has worked out beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, she's burst onto the scene as an outside. That's difficult. I mean, the approach is different. There's so many things different. Oh. Stop me in my tracks, Kaz Brown. That was in front of the 10-foot line, straight down kill. But back to my point really quickly, it's a completely different position, and now she's also passing in a different area of the court, but she has done a really good job at getting into that position.
A little confusion here. It was ruled a point to Orlando. Might have noticed the replay system said the ball was out, and Shannon Windsor was out and contesting that with the up referee Suzanne Lowry, and I think we might be taking another look here.
There we go. Yep, that one's in. By about an inch, painting the line.
It remains point Orlando. You mentioned it, Madison, the revision there on that look. So it will be a kill for Kaz Brown. And you mentioned about things that make a difference. If your middle can put a ball down at that kind of angle, that also makes a difference.
And that's something that the Valkyries really want to assert right away in every match, but this one especially, coming in, setting the middle, passing to the net. The Valkyries are at their best when Shampoo is running through the middles regularly.
Over pass, and Nadi Valentine Anderson got her hands in there just in the nick of time before that ball crossed the plane and was able to shove it down inside the block.
A lot of the times with a tight pass or a 50-50 situation, you see the setters winning that joust every time.
Looked like an overpass from the drop. A heads-up play there by Nadi Valentine Anderson to work a point out of it. Hannah Maddox runs out of room, and Sophia Maldonado Diaz drops in the ace.
Coach Windsor told me coming into this matchup, one of the keys to the game for them is going to be serving aggressive, serving tough, because they don't want Shampoo to be able to run Orlando's full offense.
14-11 in favor of the Pulse. And another ball picked up, this time by Murr. That would have taken 4 contacts, though. You're seeing some real defensive scrappiness here by Dallas.
Love that decision from Shampoo. Over the net, perfectly timed. You have to have a lot of situational awareness if you're a setter, and Shampoo, with all that experience, has it.
Van Buskirk off 1 foot.
Coach Windsor told us coming into this that Lane Van Buskirk has been such a solid leader for all of the players on this team. She said she's also always been an elite attacker, but her block has grown a lot as well.
And there is Van Buskirk, number 7 in blue, back to serve. It's speaking of her attacking ability, I mentioned that Tristan Savage has been the most efficient hitter in the league so far. Van Buskirk, to her credit, ranked 3rd this season in that department.
And so in that way, the Valkyries really have to prioritize serving aggressive so they don't set their middles.
Maldonado Diaz off the back row attack, airs long, point Orlando. Approaching our technical timeout here in this first set. Dallas 1 point away from sending us there. Orlando themselves 2 points away. Payne. Champu knocks it over. Now here's Collier. Into the cross court and down. Mimi Collier with the kill. And that should take us to our technical timeout. Entertaining action here early in Orlando, and it's the Pulse with a 2-point lead midway through set 1 of the reigning champs. Orlando as we get set to resume the action here on the campus of the University of Central Florida. As it stands, Dallas on the road up 16-14. Split a pair of home matches against Indy in their opener and then against San Diego, each in 4 sets, losing to the Ignite in their first ever match before knocking off the Mojo, then winning on the road in Atlanta in 5 before coming here this afternoon. It'll be Nadi Valentin Anderson to serve. 3 attackers in the front row for Dallas, leading by 2. Sean Davison, Madison Fitzpatrick, our entire crew on hand here at Edition Financial Arena as Hannah Maddox goes into the cross court and down for a kill for number 14 in white.
Against Indy and with this Dallas team, you'll see a lot of the times Hannah Maddox is going to get targeted on serve receive. This is an emphasis for her. This is an area that coach told her she needs to grow, is the ball handling, because she's got the attacks down.
Most recent attack pulled Orlando back within 1 for a moment before Tristan Savage goes to work yet again out of the middle.
You know what's great about Tristan Savage? Coach told us she got to the team December 27th, and she's already connecting like that with her setter. It's of course going to come along as we continue, but they've got a great connection early.
Service error there by Mimi Collier, keeps it close. But just to go back to Savage, I mentioned earlier that she really started to hit her stride in her pro career, played in France, in Greece, and then also in Puerto Rico, but going back to her time in Europe, was recently the best blocker in the Balkan Volleyball Cup over in Greece. And so that's what she comes into the United States off of, number 22 in blue. And there's Kelsey Payne off the right. And I think at this point, Madison, we were talking a little bit in the timeout. If you're Orlando, you're encouraged that a player like Sofia Maldonado Diaz is currently hitting in the negative, but you offset that if you're Dallas by your right side attacker putting down 4 balls in this first set.
And that's why you have to have balance. Not every player is going to come in super hot. Sofia, like you said, 4 errors so far, so you need another player to step up. Mimi stepping up, the middles are stepping up, and Kelsey has been really productive so far.
And in general, as defensive as the match was here a couple of days ago against Indy, this comparatively offensive Orlando Orlando, trailing by 2, is hitting nearly 300, and that number is going to continue to climb.
That's a great point, hitting 300. Dallas Pulse right now hitting 417, so both teams very efficient. Good setter-hitter connection so far in this set.
Yeah, really good offense by both sides as they just trade blows back and forth here, and Bree Kelly will go back to serve once more. Payne has been the hot hand here early, and a stumble by the Valkyries. That will drop, and Dallas's lead goes back to 2.
And that's a shame because that was a good dig. Kelsey Payne has been really productive, but they get a chance here. They get the dig, either a communication error or Shampoo was a little bit in the way and a player couldn't get to the ball.
Off her most recent kill, Payne, number 8, serves. Charity Looper swings right at Kelsey Payne. Maldonado Diaz is turned back by the block.
And I'm watching head coach Shannon Windsor of Dallas Pulse after that play. She goes, tip it, because right there you see it's a trap set. There's 2 blockers right in front of her. Nice high set. There's not really a ton of area for her to go, so what coach wants is for her to tip it into the block, to recycle it back, to cover it, and to give yourself a better chance to score.
Orlando has gone to a new setter, Hannah Pukas. A lot of times you'll see the dub sub come into effect. And so there it is. Pukas with the ace. And right as she dropped the ace, and I was about to mention, Nia Chimay has checked into the front row. Timeout by Dallas. We are tied at 19.
And when we get closer to the red zone with a game this tight, what's really going to be imperative is the serve and pass game. Which team can limit their service errors, apply the pressure, and then if you get the pass, of course, at this level, you can run your full offense and score. So the small game, the serve and pass game is really important as we're tied at 19-19.
And how cool is it to see Hannah Pukas check in? Really, you get the impression she has been waiting and waiting and waiting for an opportunity to prove what she's all about. A brilliant player at the collegiate level, came here and really just has not had an opportunity physically to get on the floor because there have been injury setbacks left and right.
Absolutely, and then she's playing behind Shampoo, so that also allows her to learn a lot from a veteran and experienced international player who's one of the best in the world. You can tell she really soaks it up, and whenever she gets an opportunity to play on the court, whether that's serving, setting, it doesn't matter, she takes advantage of it.
She will serve once more off her ace to tie it at 19 as we get back underway. Valentine Anderson had to go beyond the 3-meter line. Maldonado Diaz rejected yet again. This time she did go off speed, but never matter. Orlando was ready to reject once more.
Yeah, watch Kaz Brown get all the way there. Set up the block nicely was Nia Chimay. Coach Amy Polly said Nia Chimay, really good blocker. She loves the dub sub option because Chimay is so good at blocking. And then Kaz did a great job at getting all the way out to her right side blocker.
Shannon Windsor has subbed in Izzy Martin into the back row for the Pulse. Maldonado Diaz this time pushes it off the block, but the Valkyries thought they stayed in it. A double contact will be called. Everybody here in the arena got excited watching that ball come back across. We'll take another look.
That was going to be crazy. We thought for sure the play was done. That was such a good up by Pukas and Maddox. And then a little double contact by Kaz Brown to send it over. You can double contact on the second contact as long as it doesn't go over the net. If one of your teammates touches it, it's fine, but you can't send the ball over at any point.
So that ties us back up at 20 until the service error pushes Orlando back out in front. 21-20 here. Charity Looper back to serve. Tight. Joust won by Valentine Anderson. Good cover off the block by Klicka. Chimay off speed, picked up by Valentine Anderson. Scrappy rally here. Maddox right through the seam.
We saw a little bit of everything in that play. Good coverage by the Valkyries. Hannah Pukas just a little bit off the net, doing a really good job, though, at leading Maddox toward the net, getting her hips around the ball, squaring to the antenna, setting her outside attacker, and that's a big 2-point lead.
So Orlando has asserted that 2-point lead in a moment that matters so much. But Madison, as these teams head to their respective huddles, I want to talk about Nadi Valentine Anderson and her defense, but I'm going to save that for later because surely it's going to show up again. One thing I do want to emphasize when we talked with each head coach coming into this, Shannon Windsor, when she was talking about her team to us, mentioned that one of the things she loves most about them is their ability to erase leads and come back. For Orlando, one of the things that Amy Pauley is trying to crack the code on is they have let a number of leads slip. Here we are again, a team that has let some leads slip, and now against a team that has an innate ability to trim them down and flip scoreboards. This is going to be a very interesting red zone here.
Yeah, and it's the exact narrative that both coaches told us they're working on. So this is a perfect example. We can see what they can do here.
It'll be Looper to serve. Collier into the cross court and down. Good start by Dallas.
A little bit of space between Nia Chimay and Kaz Brown. That area pretty open in the backcourt as well. And Mimi Collier took advantage. For just a rookie, she is so physical. She's accumulating points at such a high volume for being so much younger than some of the other people on her team and across the net from her. It's been really impressive to see what she's been able to do.
Double substitution by the Pulse off the Collier kill. Will be Jelly Sear to serve. Savage back into the front row, number 22. Chimay comes off the bench in Orlando's own double sub situation. Doesn't get a ton of looks, but made that one count.
Coach Amy Pauley told both of her double sub, both Pukas and Chimay, you need to warm up like you're playing. Like, I want to use you every single time. You're going to go in the game. I'm going to use you a lot. And like we see right here, it definitely provides an extra boost for the team.
An ace by Pukas, a kill by Chimay in this rotation on the floor. And look at Pukas getting the ball back up. We play on. At the free ball opportunity airs wide. Point Dallas.
Some scrappy defensive plays on the Valkyrie side. Shout out to Kaz Brown with the dig. Nia Chimay there. Nice up. Great up by Pukas. Yeah, that was a really fun rally. Just a little communication error there at the end, and Bree Kelly sends it out.
1 point set. Pushing to the pin, off hands, kept up by Maldonado Diaz. Great defense by Sophia. Collier, off hands, Looper, what a stab! And Payne sneaks it inside the block. Boy, what a rally that was.
And the arena got so loud, so scrappy. I'm always talking about Charity Looper's defense. She does such a good job. When the block touches the ball and pops it up high, she's so quick getting back there, tracking it, digging it up. There, Bree Kelly and blocker just a little too far off the net, not pressing at the right time. Kelsey Payne having a phenomenal set.
6 kills on 8 swings off the right for Kelsey Payne. Yeah, that'll play. Hitting
over 700. She's been really good when they've sent the ball to her. And like we talked about before, Sofia Maldonado Diaz, who usually has got around 3.64 kills per set, right now only at 2 with 4 errors. So it's really big that Kelsey Payne has stepped up.
Shannon Windsor was emphatic about Kelsey Payne. She said, look, I know we haven't seen her best yet, but I know it's there. We are seeing an invigorated and just a terrific Kelsey Payne, who is, by the way, tops of all time at Kansas in terms of kills, over 1,500 tops in kills per set as well. Those two usually go hand in hand at 3.63. Also the best hitting percentage in Kansas Jayhawks program history at 334. So that's the kind of player that they are unleashing over on the right here today against Orlando. Valentine Anderson serves. Chimay off hands and out, tools the block, and Orlando will have a set point opportunity here.
It's a big time swing by Chimay. Coach Amy Pauley said that Pukas and Chimay have a really good connection, so she loves putting them in so Pukas can set Chimay. It was good follow through. She tracked that ball, followed through all the way to the hands of Mimi Collier and swiped it off the left hand.
What a productive run for that double sub tandem as Champoux checks back in, so too does Abercrombie on set point. Collier, dug up by Looper. Maddox off the net, rolls it over. Out of system for Collier. And Klicka runs out of room. Will play beyond 25.
Mimi Collier did a good job there. She didn't even have her full approach in front of her. The set was nice and high, but she was patient with her approach. And then with the block there and set, all she needed to do was swing high off of the hands. She contacted it very high as well.
5 kills on 11 swings now for Collier. And Abercrombie pushed it into the block. It's going to go to Dallas. And maybe we'll see a challenge here. I think Abercrombie, it's going to be who got it into the antenna. Is it
Orlando
off of the block and into the antenna?
Block touch.
Or was it Abercrombie who put it into the antenna? And so Orlando's challenging that it's a block touch that then deflected it into the antenna, which for all intents and purposes is out of play.
And at this point, you only have one challenge a set. You can't take it with you, so I love the decision to challenge here, especially because Brittany Abercrombie was pretty certain it was off the block.
And there are certain plays, Madison, and our officials do a terrific job across the board, but there are certain plays as you watch them happen, and you know a challenge is coming, and you just mentally go, oh, good luck.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And she called it quickly. Amy Polly was not messing around with that one. You get 7 seconds after the play ends to challenge, and she did it probably within like 2. Ooh, that's a close one.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Because the antenna is effectively out of play, does it touch the block first or the antenna first is the crux here.
From that angle, it's hard to tell. For the left hand of the outside blocker, Maldonado Diaz, did it contact that hand and then the antenna? Let's see.
Worth mentioning that a set point is in the balance. And it's not just taking one away from Dallas, she'd be taking it away from the Pulse and giving it to Orlando.
It's a close call because from those angles, it almost looked like it happened simultaneously, all at the same time.
I think it's a terrific challenge by Amy Pauley. And I think if the call would go the other way, I think Shannon Winter would have challenged. It would have been a terrific challenge in that case as well. Important call at an important point in the set. All eyes on our officiating crew. Who, again, they're going to disappoint some people one way or the other, but I think in this case, this is one of those tough decisions where they're going to be in a pretty thankless position regardless. And I think we're going to replay the point.
Video showed simultaneous contact between the attacker and the blocker and the antenna. That is a replay. Orlando will retain their challenge.
And that's exactly what I saw as well. I think that's a great call. It was simultaneous, touching the hand and the antenna.
And you know what, Madison? I didn't even factor into my mind. I was thinking more traditionally, somebody's going to win this challenge, somebody's going to lose it. I think that is a massive tip of the cap to our officiating crew. That is 100% the right decision, especially at this point in the set. Tremendous work. Abercrombie. And here's Maldonado Diaz attacking the out of system. And Brittany Abercrombie delivers set point number 2 for Orlando.
It's a really smart swing by Brittany Abercrombie. I love how much Shampoo trusts her. She goes back to her after she got dug, and there, instead of going cross court to Mimi Collier, she goes high down the line over the blocker and a little too far out of reach of Mimi Collier.
Oh, what great service pressure. Hannah Maddox delivers the dagger, and Orlando strikes first at home.
Hannah Maddox is a gamer. I've said it time and time again. That's exactly who you want behind the service line in that moment.
So Maddox and the Valkyries jump on the board first at home, going beyond 25 to do it in a highly entertaining first set with the upstart Dallas Pulse.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Dallas, a city pulsing with electricity, alive with vibrant nightlife, bold art, and flavors from every corner of the world. And now, home to the unstoppable force of women's Major League Volleyball. Inspired by the heartbeat of the city and the tempo of the game, Dallas welcomes its newest powerhouse to the stage, the Dallas Pulse.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Back here in Orlando, one set in the books. Orlando wins it 26-24 over the Dallas Pulse. Dallas a little bit more offensive in totality, Madison, but Orlando just the slightest bit cleaner. 75% on side out for the Valkyries. That's always an impressive number. And so really both teams hit north of 300, really good stuff, and I'm excited for set two.
I'm so excited. It was so competitive. The defense was really good. I will say Dallas's passing broke down late in that set. Like I said, before we got to the red zone, the serve pass game, whenever you get late like that, is really important. Orlando won the serve and pass game late. Another thing that you don't see on your screen right now, Orlando had 6 players with a kill or more. So that is a whole lot of balance, whereas Dallas was a little bit more heavy on Collier, Kelsey Payne, but Orlando balanced out their offense really well in that first set.
Yeah, Collier and Kelsey Payne combined for 11 of the Pulse's 18 kills. As we get back underway, Dallas left serving Orlando right. Collier, in fact, in to serve to get us back underway. And now here she is off the bick, turned out of play. Orlando got the double block up, but could not direct it back inside the field of play.
Yeah, we didn't see a ton of bick. We didn't see a ton of back row attack from Dallas, specifically in that first set. I'll be interested to see if Natalia Valentin-Eriksson starts to run it more in this one.
There's that slide attack that Dallas wants to limit. Kaz Brown off 1 foot.
And that's exactly what Coach Windsor, like you just said, talked about before this match. He said the slide is so fast. Kaz Brown's slide is so fast, so they have to prioritize getting there and blocking that.
That's going to miss for a service error, but I'll say this, I think Kaz Brown is a sneaky good server, and her serve placement is always incredibly tough. Like, she doesn't take the lollipops over the net. She is really trying to make the defense move.
I agree, and she's putting the serve-receive line in a lot of trouble every time she goes behind the service line. They're missing a little too far outside, but you would rather miss too far outside or too far long than in the net, because at least you make the passers think.
It's 2-1 Dallas. And make it 2-all. That'll send Champu back to serve, the reigning MVP of the finals from a season ago. Off speed, Maldonado Diaz tries to navigate the block and does. Hannah Maddox caught hands. Maldonado Diaz turned back, covered well though. Orlando goes quickly to the middle and Bree Kelly for the kill.
I love that decision to set Bree Kelly in that situation. Both teams are scrambling. We're in the middle of a rally. They're in transition. Bree Kelly did such a good job at being up, being available, and I love that Shampoo set her.
Set Kaz Brown off 1 foot, then more of a gap look there to Bree Kelly. Running it right out of the middle, so diversifying the look to the middle blockers. There's Lane Van Buskirk off speed over the top, picked up by Shampoo. And Maddox attacks the out of system into the cross court. Maldonado Diaz off hands, kept up for the moment, but down for the kill.
And I will say, with that defensive play, Dallas Pulse did a good job at setting the block. So therefore, the only place for Maddox to go was that cross court. Kylie Murr did a really good job at lining up inside the block to pop that up and get the dig.
3 digs and an out of system assist for Kylie Murr so far this afternoon. Surprise, surprise, we're tied again, albeit early here in set number 2. And that's just cruel. That's just cruel. Payne was going low and flat on her service, and it feels like when they springboard off the net, it's one thing to hit the net for it to go down, but to see it springboard off the net back at you is almost like insult to injury.
Yeah, it's definitely painful, and that would be Dallas Pulse's 7th missed serve of this match.
And right on the backside, Hannah Maddox. Madison, we talked a little bit about this a few days ago when Indy played Orlando and the Indy Ignite had a bunch of service errors. How difficult is it to reestablish a rhythm when I want to say at least 4 of the 8 points decided in the set have already ended on serve?
It's most definitely difficult. I mean, volleyball is a game of momentum, getting into a rhythm, and if you cut it off like that, it's hard to bounce back.
Oh, what an out-of-system ball there by Teodora Pusic. And Brittany Abercrombie saw nobody home over the top of the block and wisely just tipped it over.
It was a gorgeous set all the way back from the end line, and this is one of Brittany Abercrombie's strengths. She'll drive a couple deep, defense on their heels, and then she disguises it really well when she tips right over the block.
So a handful of kills now for Brittany Abercrombie. And Buskirk off 1 foot.
That was a smart swing, and in order to swing line off of behind the setter, off of a slide like that in 1 foot, you have to cut it off at the right time. She had about a foot of space between Charity Looper and the antenna, and she swung line, cut it off at the right time. 2
kills on 4 swings for Van Buskirk, who serves Maddox. And Orlando wasn't able to keep that ball off of the net. Dallas able to put it down. Just like that, the Pulse have things tied up once again. In fact, they just took a 1-point lead. Looper.
I love that play. Running Kaz Brown right in front of the setter, and then Charity Looper coming inside. About 4 feet away from the antenna, so running inside, and then what that does is it moves the block around and opens up some holes.
D-ball to Payne.
Dallas trying to get the back row involved little by little, but just a few too many errors with those back row attacks.
Orlando leads it 7-6. Collier off the top of the block, played up by Klicko. Looper caught hands, and that's down for a kill. Charity Looper just had a couple of kills, Madison, in set number 1 already, equaling that total here in set number 2.
And all that started because Kaz Brown closed the block, got the great block touch. It gave the Valkyries a chance to dig it up and then run Looper.
Collier. Boy, if this is where we're starting, Madison.
I mean, the ceiling is so high, and Coach Windsor knows it. She said they're pouring into her. She already came into the pros at such a high level from college, and her ceiling is so incredibly high. It's on full display tonight.
A lot of it just the decision-making when the block is better and the experience is that much more on the other side of the net. That's the learning curve for Mimi Collier. She's doing a nice job of it here today. Abercrombie off the back row attack. And there was no touch by Dallas. That rockets through the seam and out. Point to the Pulse. Good first ball there. Off the back one, Kaz Brown goes to work, kept alive defensively until a misconnection occurs by Dallas. You do all that good work just for a little miscue there. Brutal.
Absolutely brutal, but I love the decision-making from Shampu so far in this match. She has made it such an emphasis to run through the middle. Coach Emi Pauly said Shampu's taking it upon herself. She doesn't have to remind her, hey, you need to run the middle more. Shampu knows it. She wants to get the middles involved more in transition, and she's doing so.
And different looks too, Madison, right? Off one foot on the slide. We've seen some gaps. We've seen some back ones. So moving the middles around in so doing.
And what that does is it really stresses the block. You never know exactly where the middle is going, so you have to wait, then read. But because of how quickly Shampu sets Kaz, it's difficult to get your hands there.
10-8 in favor of the Valkyries off of the Kaz Brown kill and the attack error by the Pulse. Tristan Savage on the attack. Oh, what a set by Shampu. Collier puts it down in the back corner.
You alluded to it briefly, but Coach Windsor told us, Mimi Collier, she's got the high hit, she's got the deep cross, she's got the sharp cross, but what they're working on with her is the decision-making, when to attack what.
Maldonado Diaz high off the block. Usage will set the out of system for Maddox into the cross court, dug by Murr. Off speed by Maldonado Diaz. Abercrombie there to cover. Savage picked up by Pusic. Off the pick, there's Collier.
And if Dallas did not get that point, Coach Windsor was going to challenge. I think the ball hit the Valkyrie side of the court right there. It was close, but I know Coach Windsor was going to challenge. There's that back row attack, getting into a rhythm. Mimi Collier's so good at that in college and in the pros.
And it's worth mentioning for those who have watched this league in years prior, you do not anymore challenge anything mid-rally. You wait until the end for everything, and you've got 7 seconds to do so. One of a few different changes to the challenge system here in 2026, geared in part to try to keep things sped up. Payne. Seam was wide open, and Kelsey Payne, who's on a heater to start this match, continues her fine form.
And that was good decision-making by Kelsey Payne. Hannah Maddox up, sealing the line all the way to the antenna. So Kelsey Payne struck that ball nice and high, didn't let it drop at all. Crossbody swing to the deep corner.
Off one foot, there's Kelly. Off the D-ball, off speed, Abercrombie picked up by Collier. Tight to the net, and that effort to keep the ball alive by Maldonado Diaz got into the antenna, so that is going to be an error on Sophia, and a point to Orlando. Good ball. And Payne is the beneficiary off the right.
One-on-one situation for Payne. Natalia Valentin-Anderson, really good decision. Middle blocker Bree Kelly was sticking with the opposing middle blocker in Lane Van Buskirk, and it opened up a one-on-one situation for Payne.
Maddox. Into the block, recycled Shampu pulls it back out. And Abercrombie off speeds it off the edge of the block and out. Brittany Abercrombie doesn't have a ton of kills, but she has no errors, and she's hitting at a very high clip.
And that's such a veteran move. That ball kind of fading. Looks like it could go outside the antenna. She cuts it off quick, tools off the hands, almost like swiping it off the hands of the blocker.
And Buskirk into the cross court, dug by Shampu. Maddox trying to run the big and is denied by the tape. Just to sort of circle back to Brittany Abercrombie. I'll correct myself, there has been one error since. So 5 kills, 1 error on 12 swings, hitting .333.
This is a good rotation for the Valkyries. You got Charity Looper in the front row. Kaz Brown just came in. Now she's in the front row. And you've got Brittany Abercrombie as well. This, I would say, is one of their strongest rotations.
3 missed serves in this set alone by Dallas. And Buzzkirk into the cross court, dug up and over by Champu. Looper. Abercrombie lets it fly.
We talk about decision-making all of the time. Brittany Abercrombie has such good decision-making. Great out-of-system set perfectly to her left shoulder, and then the block is there, so she drops her thumb. She's a lefty. She's able to sneak it inside of the block, off the hands and down.
Conrad, the towel guy here, wipes up the floor. One thing I want to talk about earlier in that rally, if I can briefly, Madison, you know you're running a balanced offense when you're pulling blockers and getting players like Abercrombie and Charity Looper 1v1 looks.
Absolutely, well said.
1v none. How do you leave the reigning league MVP with no blockers in front of her?
Kaz Brown's putting in some work. The blocker stayed with her. That was an open net for Brittany Abercrombie. You know she loved that one. That's rare. She rarely gets an open net.
That takes us to our technical timeout. Midway in set 2, the Valks up a set and 3 points on the pulse. Back here in Central Florida, and what a run Orlando is on. Madison, we talked about the balance of the attack, and I just finished saying when you can get Brittany Abercrombie a 1v1 look, you know you're running a balanced attack. 1v1, or 1v none, sent us to the technical timeout.
Yeah, and in the set alone, she's had 4 kills on 7 attempts, hitting .429. This is a dangerous place for the Dallas Pulse. When Champu and Brittany Abercrombie are firing on all cylinders and she's putting up those numbers, it gets dangerous.
Good ball there by Maldonado Diaz. Then Buzzkirk into the cross court, dug by Champu. Second effort by Van Buzzkirk, and it's off of the block and out. And I thought for a second Charity Looper was a little worse for wear, and I think she might have tweaked something. We'll see. I think she's still feeling it out.
It was definitely an instant reaction of her falling down and grabbing her foot, but she did stand up pretty quickly. She didn't stay down for long. Now she's adjusting her shoe, talking with the trainer. And she's smiling. She's good to go.
All right, so deep breaths for all the folks here rooting on Orlando at Edition Financial Arena. Meanwhile, I think it's worth mentioning, I think that's good decision-making offensively by Dallas, going right back to Lane Van Buskirk. She's put some really nice swings on the ball so far.
And she's been very efficient
Dallas
all
is
season.
challenging, no center line fault.
Oh, so Dallas got called in the midst of all that. I guess a center line fault. And they're going to go ahead and challenge.
Yeah, obviously when a player tumbles to the floor and starts grabbing at their ankle, that's what's going to draw your attention first and foremost. So like you, I didn't recognize that there was a challenge there. But in hindsight, right, for something like that to happen, feet came together. And if the call was, as it seems to have been, in fact, that a foot was completely over the center line on behalf of Dallas, then there you go.
Yep, if you're Dallas and your foot is over the center line or touching the center line at all, there's no fault.
But if it's completely over and not touching anymore, that's where you got a problem.
Camera moving a little bit there, kind of hard to see. You also can't affect the person that is making the play, but the ball was out of play when they did come in contact. She was able to tool off the left hand of Charity Looper.
Officiating crew hasn't had to go to the monitor very often, and I thought they had a brilliant process of decision-making at a very important point late in set one. Ultimately decided to replay a point when there was simultaneous contact between attacker, blocker, and antenna. So they got their work cut out for them again, because at least based on that first camera angle, it's really hard to tell exactly how far over Lane Van Buskirk's foot was. So there's Michelle Prater, who again is our down referee, who's taking in all the data, all the camera angles that we have 22, in fact, in the arena here, just to make sure that she's using everything she's got at her disposal to get this right. Here we go.
That's the right angle, just the graphic, that's a tough one. We've got a decision.
It remains point Orlando.
And in that way, Dallas Pulse will lose their challenge. You only get one a set now, and they no longer have one.
So it remains 4 for the Valkyries. And it looks like we have a timeout taken by Dallas on the backside of the challenge. So we have the challenge itself, which put a halt to the proceedings. Now Dallas is deciding to call a timeout on the backside of it, which, hey, in their purview, if that's what you want to do, you're more than entitled to do it.
Might as well, down by 4.
Yeah.
The Valkyries look like they're in a great rhythm. They're balancing out their offense well. Just looking at some stats in this set for the Poles. Mimi Collier, 5 kills on 7 attempts, hitting .571, leading this team from the back row and the front row. She's had some really good back row attacks. Kelsey Payne is next up with 2 kills on 3 attempts, hitting .333. Sofia Maldonado-Diaz has been a little quiet tonight. Only 1 kill in this set, hitting in the negative. She's one that I know they want to get going, and Lane Van Buskirk has been really good as well. But first you need the pass. That's going to be big for the Pulse right now, because like I said before, their passing kind of broke down late in that last set. That's something they're definitely going to need to emphasize as the Valkyries take a lead.
And again, just to circle back to the talking point we had earlier, this is a Dallas team that has come back in a lot of sets. You have to imagine part of the conversation at some point in that huddle was, hey, we've been here before. Maybe not physically in this arena, because everywhere Dallas travels to the first time of the season is a new physical setting, but they've been in these types of circumstances before.
Yeah, and in that way, you kind of lean on that experience. You lean on that underdog mentality, like, okay, we have nothing to lose. Now we just have to chip away. And having those experiences before bodes well for the current situation.
Well, they trail by 4. Orlando leading at 17-13. Also upset 1, 26-24. What a dig there by Bree Kelly. No libero on the floor here for Orlando. Payne. Boy, she has been so good today.
And I like the decision making from Valentine Anderson. She was off the net. She's running her offense around the 10-foot line. The passes are getting up, just not too tight. But that was a great decision to set Payne in the back row. That could be such an outlet on that D-ball.
9 kills on 12 swings. Madison, she had 13 kills on the season coming into this. Nice job by Orlando tracking down a tough serve. Maldonado Diaz stabbed by Hannah Maddox and out of play. Point to the Pulse, and Jelly Sear will head back to serve once more.
Coach Windsor told us before this matchup that Maldonado Diaz, her big is quote-unquote unstoppable. She loves the tempo of that back set to Maldonado Diaz. And right there it was unstoppable. That was a great swing.
Positive response out of the timeout by the Pulse. Jelly Sear has been able to turn up the service pressure. Shampoo goes pin to pin, and Looper goes off speed over the top and down.
Such a smart decision by Looper. The off blocker of Mimi Collier is off blocking, so she's digging. If Looper was going to go cross court with that tip, Mimi Collier was there to pick it up. So she had really good court vision, good situational awareness. She saw the open floor and tipped it to the right area.
Off of the Charity Looper kill, Orlando has gone back to the dub sub. Hannah Pukas and Nia Chimay came up big in set 1. An ace by Pukas, a couple of kills by Chimay, some big digs as well. And Pukas serves. Boy, that just painted the sideline, didn't it? Pinpoint precision by Mimi Collier.
That was a beautiful swing. The block set up very outside, so all the way to the antenna goes Kaz Brown, the middle blocker. That angle is open. Emmy Klicka is there, but it's just so sharp with that drop of the thumb.
Their first ball, and Orlando goes to the backside, and Nia Chimay. 3 kills for Nia Chimay, who did a whole lot of that when she was at SMU.
This is one of the best dub subs I have seen in a very long time. Coach Amy Pauley knows exactly what she's doing by putting Chimay in there.
13th overall draft pick last year, going into last season by Grand Rapids. And Hannah Maddox is turned back by the block. Tristan Savage, an imposing blocker for Dallas at 6'7".
Look at the reach and the press. Both Payne and Savage pressing at the exact same time, creating a wall.
19-17 Orlando. Dallas hanging in there. Pass was tight. Kaz Brown puts it down. And the point's going to go to the Pulse. Timeout Orlando.
You see a lot of the times Hannah Maddox is getting targeted in serve receive. Same with Maldonado Diaz. You do that because you want to take them out of the offense. Hannah Maddox coming in after that. She wants to attack the ball, but she's passing first. And she just passed it a little too tight. Nothing really Hannah Pukas could have done there.
Bulls are back within 1 of Orlando. Amy Pauley takes her first time out here of this set.
Orlando Valkyries in this set in quite the rhythm, hitting 310. I mentioned it in the open. The Valkyries hit 100 against Indy, so they're looking more in system, in a rhythm. Their offense is firing, but now you need the pass.
Orlando also hit 355 as a team in set 1, so just continuing their hot start in terms of hit efficiency. Chimay, why not? Nia Chimay, the MLV sophomore, has had a very nice afternoon.
Chimay is very dynamic, and she's got a lot of range. And when you have a player that's that dynamic, is able to swing nice and high over the block with all of that range, it's really difficult to stop.
Natalie Foster did not get the start today, but she will come in as a serve sub for Kaz Brown, number 13 in white. And she does what Natalie Foster does. The ace queen from a season ago had 64 to set the league record, already has double figures and counting.
I was watching Coach Amy Polly after that ace. She threw her hands up, jumping up and down, thinking to herself, that was the right decision. Natalie Foster is lethal from the service line.
3-point lead. Maldonado Diaz, that's a very nice swing by Maldonado Diaz. We've documented the struggles that she has had offensively, and good on her to stick with it.
Absolutely, nice high swing. Even in slow motion, you can really tell Maldonado Diaz has such a fast arm swing. She's got a quick snap on the ball. She's very athletic as an outside attacker. We talked about it. It's hard to move from the opposite position to the outside, but she's taking the challenge head on.
Kaylee Cox checks in to serve. Izzy Martin also on the floor for Dallas. Kelsey Payne. Boy, Payne at the end line.
Nice crossbody swing by Kelsey Payne in that deep zone, a little bit between areas 1 and 6. Kukas and Looper both looking at each other saying go, but it was placed perfectly in between those two defenders.
Back down to 1. Maddox. Good cover by Looper. Opportunity, though, for the Pulse. And Buzzkirk out of the reach of Abercrombie, and we are tied in the red zone at 21.
This Dallas Pulse team is at its best when Lane Van Buskirk is getting set and getting the ball. She's very efficient. I love the decision to tip there. She saw the open court. They were practicing that a lot in serve and pass.
Tight. Shampoo gives Bree Kelly just enough room, and Bree Kelly puts it down for Orlando, who leads by 1.
That's such a skill by Shampoo, not being in the net, going up with one hand, setting behind her head, and it's a perfect connection between her and Kelly.
Just enough room for Bree Kelly. Payne, why not? Abercrombie will take a look off the right herself and sneak it through the block and down.
Brittany Abercrombie has gone for the tip 3 times. She is 3 for 3 when she decides to break out the tip from that toolbox. There, the block, not pressed enough, not over the net enough, and if you have any kind of space between your hands, your arms, and the net, you're gonna get used by that tip.
Well, Madison, we mentioned earlier how efficient Orlando was. In the first set, it was on the strength of 12 kills that they hit north of 350. In this set, they might not be hitting at 355. They're actually at 353, so they've slacked off all of 2 whole points. But that's also come at the benefit of 15 kills. We're still not done with this set, so you're still seeing the efficiency. You're seeing a lot of balance, even into the bench a little bit, going into the dub sub with Chimay coming away with multiple kills. And they're putting balls down at a high clip. So frequency, efficiency, and depth.
Absolutely, Nia Chimay 2 for 2, hitting perfect. Brittany Abercrombie 5 for 8, and talking about this set, hitting 500. Shampoo's got a kill, Charity Looper hitting 750. Every player is hitting efficiently.
And Bree Kelly rallies the troops with a big stuff block. And just like that, Orlando weathered the storm at the start of the red zone. They were tied at 21. They've won each of the last 3 points to bring up their first set-point opportunity in this second frame. Shampoo back to serve. 3 attackers in the front row for Orlando. Valentine Anderson goes to the pin. Caroline Youth on the attack. First action of the season for number 16 in blue. Out of the middle, Van Buskirk will find the sideline.
Good defensive grittiness by the Orlando Valkyries. Emmy Klicka so quick, back to get the ball. Now if you're the Valkyries, you're thinking one side out, start with the pass.
Payne serves. Good pass by Maddox, and Hannah Maddox goes from pass to kill and delivers the dagger in set 1 and in set 2.
Dallas Pulse, similar to last time, was jumping with the middle blocker. There's a one-on-one situation. Love the routes. Yep, you see Lam Van Buskirk jumping with Bree Kelly. One-on-one, Hannah Maddox able to identify the hands of Valentine Anderson, who's a little bit more undersized, less of a giant blocking presence, and she got the kill.
Orlando at full song through 2 sets in their house here on the campus of the University of Central Florida, hitting over 370 collectively in set 2 to lead it 2-0 over the upstart Dallas Pulse.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Kendall, you're gearing up for your 6th professional season and the 3rd with Major League Volleyball. What excites you the most about this opportunity here with the Dallas Pulse?
I think just the opportunity to play, like in my home country where I live. I know I'm not from Texas, but I'm always grateful just to be on U.S. soil and doing the thing that I've been like playing and doing since I was 8 years old, and I'm just really grateful for that every day.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching. It's not just a sport, it's a calling. At Spalding, we've spent years crafting high-quality equipment that honors that passion. As the official net system supplier to Major League Volleyball, we're proud to support the game at its highest level, where precision, durability, and performance matter most. Because when you give your all, you deserve equipment that does too. Spalding Volleyball, trusted by generations, built for champions.
Shannon, first of all, congratulations on being named the inaugural head coach for the Dallas Pulse. What initially drew you to this exciting opportunity?
I think there's very few opportunities in your career where you get to build something from scratch. And I think with Dallas, you got to come in, you're going to be the first coach, the first team. You get to really put your stamp on what this club is going to become and also what volleyball is going to be in Dallas. So that's pretty exciting. You don't get many opportunities like that.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Dallas, a city pulsing with electricity, alive with vibrant nightlife, bold art, and flavors from every corner of the world. And now, home to the unstoppable force of women's Major League Volleyball. Inspired by the heartbeat of the city and the tempo of the game, Dallas welcomes its newest powerhouse to the stage, the Dallas Pulse.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Here at the intermission at Edition Financial Arena, 2 sets in the books, both in favor of the homestanding and reigning champion Orlando Valkyries, set to 25-22. Comprehensively, Dallas with a few more kills. Orlando has been cleaner, though, a little stronger on the block, a little more service pressure. They've sided out just the slightest bit cleaner as well, and so that's really the story of this match so far. 26-24 in the first, 25-22 in the second. Welcome courtside, Sean Davidson alongside my All-American here at Florida State, or at Florida State, not here at Florida State, Madison Fitzpatrick. She's everywhere, though. Madison, speaking of being everywhere, Dallas has been on the road here quite a bit over the last few days, in Atlanta, now here. And when you're on the road and you hit 300 through the first 2 sets, you'd feel pretty good about your chances, except Orlando has been just the slightest bit better, and Dallas has had the slightest bit of ball control issues in very tough moments.
Absolutely. To your point on that, it's really hard to beat a team like the Valkyries, who hit 351 in that first set and then over 370 in that second set. So you can be hitting over 300, but if your opponent is that high and that efficient, you're really difficult to defeat. And then also the passing, like I said, it's broken down a little bit in the red zone and in big key situations. If they're not getting their pass to the net, they've struggled a bit.
And for Orlando, when they get their pass to the net, they can establish the middle attack, and that has been crucial for them today. Kaz Brown has been right in the middle of it, no pun intended.
And Kaz Brown's been running so many routes. We see her on the gap set. We see her coming to the setter on the 1. She's 3 for 6, no errors, hitting 500 with 2 blocks. And I'll give her a dig. She's got 1 dig in there, but what's most impressive too, that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, is the blocking. The block touches don't show up. She is getting her hands up on every single ball. She's slowing down the attacks of the poles, and that's one of the reasons why their hitting efficiency is a little bit lower, because Kaz Brown is putting in some work.
As I mentioned, Dallas hitting just shy of 300, which is fine, well and good, especially on the road. But when the home team's hitting 344 as a team, you got a lot of work cut out for you on the backside of the intermission. It has been intriguing and entertaining volleyball in Central Florida so far today. The Valkyries at home lead it 2-0. Set 3 comes your way after these messages.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching.
Dallas, a city pulsing with electricity, alive with vibrant nightlife, bold art, and flavors from every corner of the world. And now, home to the unstoppable force of women's Major League Volleyball. Inspired by the heartbeat of the city and the tempo of the game, Dallas welcomes its newest powerhouse to the stage, the Dallas Pulse.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Orlando, Florida, as we put a cap on week 3. How is it already week 3?
It's flying by.
Major League Volleyball action, by the way. Everybody getting in on the act. Everybody has beaten everybody. There's no undefeated teams left. Orlando fell on Thursday. Indy, who remained undefeated by knocking off Orlando on Thursday, fell just yesterday. So, boy, the chaos has abounded, and Kaylee Cox gets the starting assignment here in set number 3. Got a lot of play in practice. Spent a lot of time, a lot of repeated reps earlier today. Did not start off this match, but has seen more time the deeper we've gotten into it.
And she's got great experience. She was the 0-2 over at Columbus last season. She's a tried and true outside. We'll see if she can get something going.
Charity Looper is roofed by Kelsey Payne. Good start to set number 3 by Dallas.
That was good reading by Kelsey Payne, too. Almost like a one-on-one situation. Lane Van Buskirk just a little late to close, but it doesn't matter because Kelsey Payne read the shoulder of her attacker, dove her arms into that seam.
Savage serves. Houston sets the out of system to Looper off hands. Kept alive by Valentine Anderson. Free ball coming to the Valkyries. Opportunity to go quick. They do so to Bree Kelly. Abercrombie. Cox. Really smart volleyball by Kaylee Cox. That's twice she's tooled the block in the first 3 points of the third.
And sometimes that happens when you bring in a fresh face with new energy. They can come in off the bench, make things happen. The defense isn't used to her swing yet, so she's had some success so far.
18th selection in the 2024 league draft by, as you mentioned earlier, Madison, by Columbus. Nice pickup by Valentine Anderson. Alas, it will be the first point of the set for the Valkyries, but I mentioned it earlier. Let's go ahead and revisit it because, again, Naughty Valentine Anderson, her job is to run the offense. You don't ever want to see your setter take a whole bunch of first balls, but my goodness, she is always ready to dive and make the rally-saving play. Falling back, tees up Cox. Now sliding under it. Goes right back to Kaylee. Abercrombie picked up by Murr. No touch by Dallas. How about the scrappiness on D in that rally by the Pulse?
Brittany Abercrombie saw something there in the middle of that play. Felt something, saw something, I'm not sure. Ran over to Coach Amy Polly immediately and said challenge.
Orlando is challenging early in the rally net fault.
But to your point, the defensive plays have been really good on Dallas's side. They're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with Brittany Abercrombie's tip. I mentioned it in that last set. She was 3 for 3 when she busted out the hands and did a little tip. But here, Pulse doing a better job at reading that. That's 2 digs in a row for the Pulse off of Brittany Abercrombie's tip.
As it stands, it is 4-1 Dallas, a must-win set for the Pulse. Best 3 out of 5 for the match. We'll see if there was, in fact, a touch.
Yep, nice little highlighted circle. Brittany Abercrombie was right. Lane Van Buskirk, the side of her body in the net.
So they take the point away from Dallas, give it to Orlando off of the net fault, and what was a 3-point lead, just like that, becomes a 1-point lead for the Pulse. Looper serves. Cox into the cross court and down.
And that's a great pass to start the play. The passing has been really good in these first couple of points for the Pulse, which opens up their offense. Cox has come off the bench with a vengeance.
Maddox. Point will go to Orlando off of a net fault by the Pulse. attack. Mimi Collier is back in the scorer's column.
Mimi Collier is just as efficient in the back row as she is the front. It's more of a tempo set for her back row attack, so she starts her approach as Valentine Anderson is contacting the ball, and that was a smart area for her to attack to. Bree Kelly playing left back.
Maddox kept alive by Payne. Cox off the bick. Boy, Shampoo did a nice job of muscling that ball to Hannah Maddox, but that ball was wide of the sideline. Point to the Pulse.
As a volleyball fan, you just have to appreciate that bump set by Shampoo. There was no spin on that ball, perfectly placed.
Maddox on the backside of the miscue, puts that one down, trades error for kill.
And that's the kind of set that Maddox finds a lot of success in. A little quicker, but it's when Shampoo is closer to the net. She's not running that from too far off the net.
Collier dug up by Abercrombie. Will be a free ball, though, to the Pulse. Collier will try again. Maddox, was there a touch? No. And another
Orlando
challenge is
is challenging that there was a blocked touch.
Hannah Maddox came down from that and was pretty certain there was a touch. Went over to Amy Polly immediately. Coach Polly has trusted her players whenever they say challenge it, so we'll see if this one's also successful. It's a good angle. Yep, looking for any kind of wiggle of any finger. I think maybe left hand, middle finger. Successful challenge again for the Valkyries.
So 2 successful challenges for Orlando in this set. Just like that, they're back within 1. And Collier re-extends the lead to 2.
That's such a sharp angle to hit from inside like she was. Coming closer to her setter, about 4 feet away from the antenna. So that angle, that area of the court's a little bit smaller, but she's got such a high contact. She can snap on that ball.
4-4 for Mimi Collier, and off speed for Hannah Maddox.
That's smart. As an attacker, you have to have a wide arsenal of shots. You can't just bang balls deep over and over again. The defense will get comfortable, so Hannah Maddox comes in strong. Nice explosive approach, but at the last second drops her shoulder just a bit for the off speed.
Collier off hands. Kaz Brown missed the sideline. But boy, that could have been another one of those absurdly sharp put downs by Kaz Brown.
And Shampoo was smiling after that. After she set Kaz Brown, she hit it out. She looked at Kaz and said, "You're good, you're good." That was a great swing. She just didn't cut it off in time.
8-6. And point to Orlando off the service error.
Dallas Pulse in total 9 missed serves in this match, as opposed to the Valkyries 3.
When you combine that with a few more errors in terms of their attacking, that has made the difference. Savage on the attack off speed. Looper kept up by Cox. What an impact she has made in her time on the floor here in this set. Allows her teammate Collier to transition, and Mimi Collier with another kill.
And Collier is carrying a really large load for this team. She's getting targeted on serve receive. I've been really impressed with her passing and then her ability to be up in transition, make the plays, and get the kill.
14 kills on 26 swings, just 1 error for Mimi Collier hitting 500. And that's into the antenna.
It's good effort, great effort. Valentine Anderson read that. She saw where it was going. She was there, just couldn't get 2 hands on it to contact that ball and to angle her platform into the tape, but into the net. But that was really good effort.
Where would you say Nadi Valentine Anderson ranks in terms of defensive ability and flash amongst all the setters in this league.
One of the best, for sure. Defense, she's just so quick. She makes digs that liberos make.
She also runs a pretty good offense, and she reverses the flow to Kelsey Payne. And Kelsey Payne has had a very, very nice day. Into double figures now with 10, and I believe it'll be 11 once the scoreboard updates here momentarily. Kills in this match alone.
Yeah, hitting around 562, that's hitting efficiency of a really solid, amazing middle. That's hitting efficiency of a middle having a great night. And so as a pin attacker, you're usually less efficient, more room for error, but she's attacking that ball at such a high clip.
And only 13 kills on the season coming into this match. Another point goes to Dallas. Redirect that ball off of some Orlando hands and out. Leads up to 3. Abercrombie. And Hannah Maddox will want that one back. You can see it on her face the second that ball got past her.
Yeah, that's one of those, if you can get a block touch, if you can get your hands up, slow down the attack, you've got to get that pass up, recycle it up, give your offense a chance to score. Courtney Schwann now coming in for Hannah Maddox.
Courtney Schwann, one of the best passers in this league last year. Also one of the better defensive players, one of the digs leaders as an outside, and that's a quality first contact by none other than Schwann. It leads to an Abercrombie kill.
Courtney Schwann has one of the most clean touches in the entire league. Her ball control skills are so elite. Coming off the bench, passing an absolute dime. You see that gap in the block for Brittany Abercrombie to score through.
A volleyball junkie too. Indoors, on the sand, in America, in Europe, in the Philippines. She gets her money's worth.
It's Kaylee Cox, 4th kill, hitting around 600 once my stats load. That's an impact. Coming in off the bench, immediately asserting yourself in the offense.
Sophia Maldonado-Diaz had been struggling a little bit over there on the outside. Gives you 2 legit attackers who can put balls down with efficiency. Not to say Sophia Maldonado-Diaz isn't legit, she just hasn't been very efficient. Now you've got 2 that are putting them down and not erring either.
And Kaylee Cox has seen it in a variety of ways. Good up, nice set by Valentine Anderson, a bump set, dropping that right shoulder, leading her attacker. But Kaylee Cox has been set a lot in transition, a lot inside out. She's gotten the out of system plays, the in system plays, and she's handled all of it really well.
So Kaylee Cox, who I mentioned earlier, was a draftee a couple of years ago in the 2024 draft, 18th overall. Played 26 matches last year with the Fleury, predominantly, as you had mentioned, Madison, in that L2 role. Over 200 kills in her rookie season, 2.37, so go ahead and say 2.4% on really a 160 hit percentage. This a much, much higher clip than that.
Hitting 714, 5 for 7. The Pulse as a team hitting 556 right now, so they have come out, I'm not sure what coach said during the time in between set 2 and set 3, but they've been hitting at a much higher clip and staying really aggressive.
With all that, they lead it by 5 in this 3rd set. Must-win set for the Pulse. Looper off the Bick, misses long. And as sharp as Dallas has seemed, Madison Orlando, admittedly, a little discombobulated.
Yeah, looking a little uncomfortable. I mean, that's their 3rd attacking error. They're hitting 0 right now, but just not as in a rhythm as they were in the first couple sets.
This is the best block touching I think I've seen out of Dallas. Orlando able to side out there off the right-hand side, but my goodness, they had to work for it. Tight. And snuck through by Valentine Anderson.
Valentine Anderson and Kaz Brown have had a few joust situations, and it's been Valentine Anderson. And
that will take us to our technical timeout. midway through set 3. Valentine Anderson and the Pulse looking to strike back here in Orlando, leading it 16-10 for reigning champs. Back here in Orlando, Dallas trailing 2-9, leads set 3, 16-10. Sean Davis and Madison Fitzpatrick, our entire crew on hand here in the Sunshine State. Nice up there by Cox. Collier off the net, swings into the cross court, dug by Pusic. Abercrombie off hands. Kylie Murr slid not just off of the Terraflex, but also off of the hardwood underneath it. Almost needed to get herself a bucket of popcorn. She slid so far off the floor trying to get that ball up and nearly did so.
And that's what you want out of your libero. You want a never say die kind of mentality. The ball will never hit the ground unless your body is on the ground with it. She's been really good tonight.
Orlando's going to go to the dub sub. And it is going to be Hannah Pukas serving. Nia Chimay, number 7 at the net. And Hannah Pukas off the trickle ace has 2 aces here in this match.
I said this to you in between sets. This is one of the most well-executed dub-sub situations I have ever seen. Nia Chimay has been really good blocking. Hannah Pukas has done a great job serving and setting Chimay when the time is right. It's been really well executed.
In the zone 6, and Valentine Anderson calls her own number.
That's such a smart decision as a setter. You also have to be an offensive weapon if you're running a 5-1, but you can't do it too much because then the defense expects it. The blockers will be up, the defenders will dig you. So Valentine Anderson has done a good job at doing it sparingly.
A little surprised that she served directly at Kylie Murr there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's an ace serve back the other way, Jelly Sear.
Love these players coming off the bench and serving aces. Jelly Sear has a nice flat float serve. It kind of dies right before it gets to your platform, so your first move has to be really big.
4-year run at Arizona State from 2021 to 2024 helped turn the Sun Devils around to the point where they won the Big 12, and as recently as this year, they hosted the first couple of rounds of the NCAA tournament. Big rejection at the net. Everything is going the Pulse's way.
Coach Windsor told us Tristan Savage is a really good high ball blocker. So when that set is nice and high, Tristan does a great job at getting there, timing it out, having those nice long invasive arms over the net and sealing the net. And right now, it's all the Pulse. They're in control of this game. They're playing cleaner. And this is exactly what you want if you're Coach Windsor in set 3.
Sticking with Savage, Madison, I just love this league for so many reasons, right? You bring in so much emerging talent, the can't miss kids, the Mimi Colliers of the world, right? But at the same time, there is a Tristan Savage that, regardless of reason, here's the reality. While she was at UCLA from 2019 to 2022, played in a whole of 37 matches, a total of 100 sets, recorded just 72 total kills in her time with the Bruins, figured it out overseas, comes back here, and she has just been a menace in the MLV, hitting her stride as a pro.
It's such a cool story and journey, and now she has the opportunity for her parents to come. She's in the States. She's playing professionally here. Really, really cool story.
She and the Pulse lead by 7. Pukas tees up Chimay, and that goes right into the campfire, and it wasn't for lack of effort. It was just a couple of Pulse players who overran the ball.
Sear, Valentine Anderson, both there. No one called it off quick enough. The Valkyries most definitely needed that to stop the bleeding. They're down by 6. They're still in it, but you got to start chipping away now, and it starts with the serve.
And here's Courtney Schwann. Savage out of the middle. And that is an appropriate name for a player who is pretty savage at the net.
And that's why in this league you have to have the service pressure. That wasn't too tough of a serve. Cox handled it nicely, and Pulse was able to run through one of their most efficient attackers.
Into the red zone. Back bump by Pukas to Charity Looper, dug by Cox. Collier into the cross court, sharp 4-4. And Chimay tools the block for another kill.
Good patience on the approach by Nia Chimay, waiting, letting that ball cross over her left shoulder to her right. Good setter-hitter connection between Pukas and Chimay, and you see the little bit of space between Collier and the antenna. Nia Chimay followed through nicely to get the kill.
Trim the lead down to 6, and here comes another added wrinkle for Amy Pauley, using Natalie Foster as a serve sub. Did record an ace in set 2 in this capacity. Nice job there by Cox on serve receive. Now sets the out of system to Payne. Chimay has to track it down. Here comes a free ball to Dallas. Payne again. And Payne, you mentioned going 4-4 on the outside. That's basically 2-2.
That's so sharp, and what that means is she's on top of the ball. She's not underneath it. She's quick to the ball, gets her feet there, is nice on top of it, has a big snap, drops that pinky, crossbody swing 2-2. Really well executed.
Good pass by Looper. Better block by guess who? Have yourself a dang Kelsey Payne.
Watch the press all the way over the net, reading the opposing attacker's shoulder, diving those arms into the seam. There was no covering that one. It went straight down.
Chimay off the top of the block, playable for Cox. Now in transition inside the block, dug out by Kelly. Good cover there by Pusic. Murr picks it up on top of the net, and Kelsey Payne had just enough room to sneak it through.
The defense for the Pulse in this stretch has been phenomenal. First of all, the block touches have been really good. The blocking has been really good, and then the defense behind the block. Because the Valkyries are getting blocked so much, now they're taking a little bit off of it. Kylie Murr was there to scoop it up, and they finished the play.
2 points away from the set. Service there by Collier likely won't matter much. Orlando subs in Emmy Klicka, Theodora Pusic. Also going back to that dub sub, Abercrombie and Shampoo back to the floor. So a triple sub in effect for Orlando. Cox into the cross court. Knuckled over by Shampoo. Boy, what scrappy work defensively by Klicka and Shampoo there. Payne recycles. Here she is on second effort. Savage just snaps her wrists and puts it down. Point to Dallas and a whole bunch of set points to follow.
That's a gimme ball for Savage. 6'7", very tall, no one up. Just puts it straight down. If you're a volleyball fan, you probably are because you're watching this, but you are loving the setters and how much they're moving and how much they're working. Valentine Anderson and Shampoo so elite all over the court.
Looper into the cross court and down off of Izzy Martin. Still plenty of opportunities abound for Dallas, just a side out away from sending us to a fourth.
Yeah, Looper a little quieter in this set. That's her second kill on 1 error, 9 attempts, hitting in the negative.
Good serve, though, by Looper. Good first contact there as well. Abercrombie off the top of the block. What a stab there by Valentine Anderson. Payne appropriately puts an end to set number 3.
Dallas Pulse is feeling themselves defensively. They're making some amazing plays. Kylie Murray has done such a good job. So has Valentine Anderson. The block touches were there. The block was there. Much better showing in this set for the Pulse.
So a decided set 3 win for Dallas will extend the proceedings here in Central Florida. Orlando won the first 2, and the Pulse must win set 4 to send us.
Shannon, first of all, congratulations on being named the inaugural head coach for the Dallas Pulse. What initially drew you to this exciting opportunity?
I think there's very few opportunities in your career where you get to build something from scratch. And I think with Dallas, you got to come in, you're going to be the first coach, the first team. You get to really put your stamp on what this club is going to become and also what volleyball is going to be in Dallas. So that's pretty exciting. You don't get many opportunities like that.
It's not just a sport, it's a calling. At Spalding, we've spent years crafting high-quality equipment that honors that passion. As the official net system supplier to Major League Volleyball, we're proud to support the game at its highest level, where precision, durability, and performance matter most. Because when you give your all, you deserve equipment that does too. Spalding Volleyball, trusted by generations, built for champions. Every match is a new opportunity. For us, this is everything. The hours no one sees, the pressure, the belief it takes to keep going. Every serve carries expectation. Every rally demands heart. Every win brings us one step closer to becoming champions. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars compete for greatness. This is our game, our league. Keep watching.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Here in Orlando, they decided set 3 in favor of the Pulse, 25-16 after Orlando won the first 2 sets, 26-24, 25-22. Sean Davis and Madison Fitzpatrick digesting the action as we've seen it to this point. Madison, I mentioned it to you in the break. It's amazing how one set literally statistically changed everything. Orlando was just a little bit better through the first 2 sets. Not even close in set 3. Dallas out-hitting the Valkyries by 400 points exactly, 486-86. They have the decided edge in hit percentage, but still importantly, Orlando with the edge on the scoreboard, 2-1. We get back to the action here in the 4th set. These teams trading sides. Dallas on the left, Orlando on the right, and there is Kaylee Cox. And just going back to what we were talking about in the commercial break, that has been huge for the Pulse.
She's been the difference maker. She was the X factor in that last set. 5 kills, no errors, hitting .556. Her and Kelsey Payne, I will say, are the 2 driving factors for that victory offensively.
Looper off speed over the block. Cox again.
I don't like to say the word ain't, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, she's got it going on. Kaylee Cox is in a rhythm, hitting over 500. She's been so good in system and out of system. Just really phenomenal offensively.
Speaking of out of system, here's an out of system ball for Looper. Why not? I mean, why not? Everybody in the gym knows at this point it's going to number 9 in blue, and Orlando simply has not been able to stop her, and that has got to be huge for Kaylee.
Yeah, they're not getting hands up on the block, not able to slow it down, and then she's got a lot of range. They're going deep down the line.
Kaz Brown. Cox again.
I believe that's her 9th kill on 13 attempts with no errors, hitting well over 600. Talk about coming in off of the bench, lighting this team up, putting this team on her back, and being so efficient offensively.
Amy Pauley calls timeout, and I don't disagree with that decision. Not one bit. You've got to do something, anything, to halt the momentum.
Exactly. That's definitely not the way you want to come out after losing set 3, coming into set 4. Just looking a little chaotic. The passing's not as in system as it was in those first 2 sets. I think the surface pressure for the Valkyries has got to increase a little bit. We talk about the hitting efficiency of the Pulse in that last set. Well, some of that comes from the serving aggression of the Valkyries because the Pulse is in system, running their full offense. And almost every player was hitting over 300, 400 in that set.
Kaylee Cox, 4 kills and 4 points in this 4th. It's been all her for Dallas, at least offensively here in this 4th set. Kaz Brown puts an end to the rotation, though, and that is something Orlando desperately needed.
Kaz Brown is really good behind the setter, which you need to be. If you're running a 5-1 and your setter's in the front row, you need a presence behind the setter on that right side of the court. So you've got Brittany Abercrombie on the D-ball, and you can also have Kaz Brown behind the setter.
We'll send Charity Looper back to serve. Cox swatted back. And a point to Orlando off the double. Good pushback here by the Valkyries, and that's just going back to the Kaz Brown kill. Orlando really had some success running the middle early. Got the extra blocker to commit to the middle, got some 1v1s, 1v-nuns for their pin attackers who are so lethal. It feels like that could be a key to getting things going again.
Most definitely.
Cox from the outside misses the sideline. And so really it's been, aside from the Kaz Brown kill, a set that has been decided by Kaylee Cox putting balls down or missing the confines of the court.
Dallas is challenging that there was a block touch.
To use a challenge this early in the set, they must be confident.
So we'll send Michelle Prater back to the monitor. Take a look at all the different angles that our MLV challenge system has cooked up.
Looking at the right hand of the right side blocker. A little bit of a blurry view there, couldn't really tell. But you would think, because they're challenging with the score of 3-4, that they're pretty confident there was a touch. Especially because you only have 1 challenge now.
Used to be 2 challenges per set, and again, a lot of the changes, Madison, coming into the season were geared to speed things up. Here's another angle.
So we're looking at Shampoo's right hand.
And so I think regardless of, you know, this process, here we go, take another look.
Yep, don't see any fingers moving on Shampoo, so the Pulse will lose their challenge. And they will not have one in this set. Now the Valkyries down by 1.
It's no small thing. Orlando has worked the early lead down to 1. Looper will serve once more. Takes Murr down to the floor, and that's still up. I think Dallas thought that point was over. Nonetheless, they run the Bic to Collier, and now it certainly is.
Leave it to Mimi Collier in the back row. She's been so effective, so powerful and aggressive from the back row. Full swing, nice high contact on it every single time, and she does a good job at identifying the arms of the middle block.
That's service error. Tristan Savage airs wide. Will head to the bench. We'll send Orlando's middle Kaz Brown back to serve. Van Buskirk out of the middle.
Kaylee Cox has been really good, not just offensively, but passing as well. That was a dime of a pass. And I said it before, but when the pulse is in system, off serve receive, Valentine Anderson loves to run through middles.
Falling away, Shampoo goes pin to pin to Maddox. Abercrombie, great defense. And that is in play. Point to Dallas off the rejection.
Really good out of system set by Pusic. Block was just there and pressed at the right time. And good defense by Brittany Abercrombie.
Dallas must win this set. Abercrombie into the cross court and away from Kelsey Payne.
I talk about Brittany Abercrombie's range being one of the reasons why she's so difficult to defend, and that doesn't matter whether she's in the back row or the front row. She can basically tag any area of the court behind the 10-foot line or in front of it.
Service error re-extends the lead to 3. Cox will head to the back row. Awfully productive trip through the front row to start off this set for Kaylee Cox. Collier will take her place up at the net. Maddox turned back by the block, good cover by Pusic. Abercrombie. Brittany Abercrombie heating up again here in this 4th set.
This is a good rotation for the Valkyries with Brittany Abercrombie in the front row, Shampoo's in the back. She's got all 3 attackers. And you've also got Hannah Maddox in the back row as well, and they like to run her through that Bic.
Van Buskirk off 1 foot, connects on the slide. And Van Buskirk, 4th-year pro, 5th-year pro now, I should say, out of Windsor, Canada. Later college volleyball at Pitt, heads back to serve. Nine 9-7 off of Van Buskirk's service error. Well, it's starting to get contagious, isn't it, Madison?
I mean, sometimes it is. You go back to the service line, it's 100% mental at this level. You're thinking about your opponent missing the serve right in front of you. So it's in your head, and if you're thinking about it, it's a little bit easier to miss. So yes, it can be contagious.
Good pass by Maddox. And Abercrombie benefits off the right.
When the Valkyries get a good pass, Coach Amy Pauley says we need to be running all 4 routes all of the time. So you saw Kaz Brown go behind the setter, Brittany Abercrombie just a couple feet to her right, pulling that blocker and finding space in between the block.
Collier into the cross court and into the back corner.
One of the reasons why Collier has so much success is because she's not letting the ball drop. She's attacking it at her highest point, at the ball's highest point. You can see right there from that angle, absolutely perfectly. That ball is not dipping at all. She's attacking it high.
Kaylee Cox with the rejection of Kaz Brown.
The block there 100% respecting Kaz Brown behind the setter, going with her. They had both blockers in front of Kaz.
And again, going back to what Shannon Windsor told us, that was a point of emphasis for Dallas, slowing down Orlando's slide attack. Looper hovers off the block and down.
Sometimes that happens. That was a really good block touch by Kelsey Payne, but it's up in the air. She's turning around, trying to transition off the net, doesn't really know where it is. It's a good block touch, just not able to pass it up.
Net touch off the service. And an opportunity for Orlando. Abercrombie steps in off 1 foot. There is Kaz Brown. Amy Pauley wants her team to go quicker and quicker yet.
And especially on that slide attack, it is such a quick set to Kaz Brown, right behind the setter. One-on-one situation, but swinging line to the left of Kaylee Cox. The service pressure was really good right there. Charity Looper provides that. They got a free ball back. That's why service pressure is so important.
Cox off speed, picked up. Kaz Brown off speed over the top of the block and down. And Orlando has started to reestablish their veteran middle and the inaugural season's middle blocker of the year.
Kaz Brown has so much success off of 1 foot. That's her 6th kill. I'm pretty sure she's had 5 out of those 6 behind the setter. She's very confident running that route off of 1 foot. And she's able to score in a variety of ways. She can cut it off quick and go down the line. She can snap her wrist and hit it sharp angle, or she can take something off of it and tip when she sees that the block is late.
Just to follow up your thought, Madison, we've got a little bit more time to discuss this now. 3 of her 6 kills have now come in this set, really over the last 3 or 4 points, frankly. And that is going to start pulling some of those blockers. It has to start pulling at least the eyes of the blockers, and that might get Abercrombie a little bit more breathing room. Might get Charity Looper a little bit more breathing room.
Most definitely, and that's why Shampoo is very elite. She knows what she's doing by running the middle, freeing up the outsides and the pins for maybe a one-on-one situation. The decision-making from Shampoo is really good.
Orlando hit full song in the second. Had the Pulse guessing often. Can they get back to it? Mimi Collier paints the sideline. My goodness, both of these teams have been really good offensively, save for the last set for Orlando.
Yeah, Mimi Collier has been so consistent in the back row, and Valentine Anderson is doing a good job at finding her. She comes in really powerful. Coach Windsor told us she's working on her decision-making. I think the decision from that back row attack, paint the sidelines, and it's been successful.
Ace serve for Savage. Must-win set for Dallas on the road. Overpass, put down by Van Buskirk.
And I'd like to say give Savage the assist. That ball is floating and moving so much, causing the overpass. It's really flat too, and the Valkyries serve receive line is having trouble with first contact right now.
Amy Pauley's going to let it ride. Dallas 1 point away from sending us to the technical timeout, and they will do that off of yet another ace for Tristan Savage. The lead up to 5 for the Pulse, who need this set to see a 5th. Tried to win consecutive 5 setters on the road. They've taken another step forward midway through set 4. Cox, and an overpass put down by Lane Van Buskirk off of this service by Savage. Courtney Schwann steps in to take it on first contact, has Brown turned back by the pulse block, but to no avail. Brown prevails yet again and powerfully struts her way back to the service line.
With some purpose, too. That was a power tip through the block. Also to note, Lindsay Vanderweide in on the outside and Courtney Schwann in playing middle back.
Orlando changing the outside tandem, and that is an overpass. Bree Kelly was ready and waiting, as easy a look as she will get.
We talked about it before, but Cass Brown can cause some damage behind the service line. Nice high contact on the ball. It floats a lot. The Valkyries have a lot of success when she's behind the service line.
Fellow middle Bree Kelly had her fair bit of success right there, lead down to 3. Cox is jammed up on serve, receive. Good pick up there by Vanderweide. Look at Bree Kelly go. The kill, the stuff, the momentum shift midway through the 4th.
And even in college, Bree Kelly has been a very disciplined blocker. That's one of her strengths. She is so disciplined, quick side to side, and is good at closing.
Collier jammed on first contact. Schwann steps into cross court for first contact herself. There's the bump to Cox, what a swing.
The block there on their way down, because that set was so high, the block was on its way down when Kaylee Cox struck that ball, drove it off of the hands, and was able to get the tool, but still Valkyries chipping away, now down by 3.
Payne will serve. Targets Vanderweide, who goes to work on the attack. Cox off the block, kept up by Abercrombie. Vanderweide kept alive by Collier. And Cox threads the defenders and frustrates Abercrombie.
Valentine Anderson so good running that same tempo set. Kaylee Cox swinging over Shampoo, a little bit of height disparity there, and Kaylee Cox with the tempo set plus the quick arm swing was able to beat the block.
There's Abercrombie. There is Conrad the Towel King. The ball there by Vanderweide, and Abercrombie is going to come away with the kill for Orlando.
The Valkyries will take it, because at this point in the match, you really don't want to go down by 5. Now they're only down by 3. Service pressure will be key here. Let's see if Brittany Abercrombie can heat up and go on a little bit of a run.
Collier. Nice job by Payne, keeping that alive. Look at the block of Orlando. Smart to go off speed over the top of it there. Abercrombie takes it back out. Vanderweide dug up by Collier, and Payne runs out of room. Boy, the battle at the net, Madison, has just been relentless on both sides.
Bree Kelly's been phenomenal coming off the bench. I mean, just making such great plays, diving those arms into the seam. 2 blocks in a row for her, and Lindsay Vanderweide was able to get the kill.
And Buskirk found some real estate inside the end line. Will extend the lead for the moment, up to 3.
Van Buskirk is having a good night. That's her 8th kill. She's only had 1 error, hitting a little bit over 350. She's been really good, and she's come up in big situations.
Cox serves. Abercrombie had to hesitate. Collier missed the sideline.
That was an opportunity there for the Pulse. I was thinking in my head, whenever Brittany sent it over and they get a good pass, I was thinking opportunity here, but Mimi Collier's been phenomenal. She's been very low error here tonight. So that one, you let it go, you're still up by 2, but you need a side out.
Vanderweide serves, it's a service error. Then comes Jelly Sear. who has had a positive night serving, recorded an ace, and has applied a lot of service pressure on Orlando. Will resume her role as a serve sub here. Number 12 in blue. There is that service pressure, but wow, Orlando handled the heat well, and that freed up Abercrombie.
Coach Amy Pauley told us that Shampoo and Brittany Abercrombie are as close of a package deal as they come, and rightly so. Shampoo down on her knees, reversing the flow of that set. Back to Brittany Abercrombie, who attacked the ball nice and high, drove it down the line. That deep area of the court, she's got that down. She is so good at attacking deep.
Here comes Foster as the serve set. Shout out to Pusic, down to the floor on serve receive as well. Payne. That is long. And while Dallas was first to the red zone here in this fourth set, much like in set 3, it's been Orlando on the comeback trail who have trimmed the lead to 1. And a dangerous Natalie Foster serves again. That is through the back. Pulse exchange. The attack error for the service error. Theodore Pusic back onto the floor. Adi Valentin Anderson back to serve. So a full complement of attackers at the net. You've got Collier, who's been really good. You've got Savage, who has been efficient. You've got Kelsey Payne, who's had a great day. And you got Brittany Abercrombie, who, when you think the angles can't get any sharper, what about that?
That's around 6-foot line. Also, credit Shampoo for not being in the net. That was a pretty tight pass, and just what she does with her hands up there is incredible. Brittany Abercrombie expecting that ball. Nice and sharp attack. Now the Valkyries down by 1. It's going to be imperative that this dub sub does what it has in the past, which is give them a boost, get them in it, and help them take the lead, but we'll see.
It has been productive. Hukas into serve, and Collier into the cross court. Too hot to handle for Schwann.
Quick and efficient is Mimi Collier, not messing around. Nice sharp swing. Collier now with 18 kills, hitting well above 400.
Both of these teams hitting well above 300 in this fourth set. Nia Chimay found some real estate there. Caught some hands as well. Looked in initially, at least from our angle. But it's going to be a touch call by Suzanne Lowry. Either way, same result. Point for Chimay, and Orlando is back within 1. Cox misses the hands of the Valkyries. And Orlando has gotten all the way back into this fourth set, tied at 22. Timeout, Dallas.
This was a grind to get back in it. The Valkyries were down by a good amount, so that's a lot of mental fortitude to scrap their way, get back in it, and now we're tied in the red zone.
And I think, Madison, you know, you look at the way these rosters have been constructed, you look at Orlando specifically, not to say that Dallas isn't deep. They've showcased some of that depth. Kaylee Cox coming off the bench and giving them an offensive boost at the pin. But for Orlando, the ability to bring Nia Chimay and Hannah Pukas off the bench, the ability to use Natalie Foster, who was one of the most efficient hitters, by the way, last year, and the reigning service queen as a serve sub. Amy Pauley has just gotten so creative with her personnel here in this set. And I just can't imagine any way in which Dallas has been able to actually get comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really just a testament to the roster that Coach Amy Pauley built. 4 standout outsides that she has. We've seen all 4 of them here tonight. It's been really cool to watch how she's played with that depth.
We've seen all 4 of them in this set. One of them, Schwann, serves once more. Collier. Schwann picks it up. We play on. Are you kidding me?
Hannah Pukas 1 and up. So quick twitch digging that ball. Courtney Schwann there to cover. Emmy Klicka literally jumping over her teammates to get that ball over. And there's no better feeling than after a play like that, a stuff block. Oh, and then we'll see for the Dallas Pulse, Malaya Jones coming in to provide a spark.
I said something about depth. How about having Malaya Jones on your bench? Outstanding season at SMU before getting drafted. Chimay, who also was an SMU standout. Cox off speed over the top. Opportunity out of system for Chimay. Brown swats it down. Still up. Inside the block. Valentine Anderson ranges over. Chimay. Picked up by Murr. And there is Malaya Jones, number 11 in blue. Welcome to the party.
Coach Windsor told us before this matchup, Malaya Jones is a huge competitor, which is great for situations off of the bench. She said, I'll put her in. She'll try to rip the cover off of the ball. What she brings in those moments is so valuable, and that's the perfect example of what Coach told us before this match.
Selected 9th overall in this past collegiate draft. Spent a year at USC, then to Colorado State before having an All-American year at SMU. Izzy Martin checks in to serve. Vanderweide off the block, kept up by Cox. Jones into the cross court. Malaya Jones on 2 swings has delivered set point for the Pulse.
That's just what Malaya Jones does. She's so aggressive, she's so powerful, she doesn't take anything off of it, even though she's coming off the bench. She knows her role, she knows what she's getting put into the game to do, and she delivers.
What a treat this match has been. Efficiency and depth on full display. Brown off 1 foot, missed it, and Dallas has one last flip in store in the red zone, and we will go the distance. Wow!
Dallas is going to try to reverse sweep here in the Valkyries' home. It's been so tight, so much fun, 2-2. I love a good fit set.
And that is exactly where we're headed. Sets 1 and 2 to the Vouch, sets 3 and 4 to the Pulse, who hang on and will head to a tie-breaking fifth after this.
Hey Orlando, it's game time. Your women's pro volleyball champions, the Orlando Valkyries, are back and ready to win. Enjoy the night out and feel the excitement of big plays, incredible athletes, and non-stop action. Every rally brings the crowd to its feet. Every point is a moment to cheer together. This is world-class volleyball, live at Edition Financial Arena. Don't just watch the game, be part of the celebration. Get your tickets now at orlandovalkyries.com.
Dallas, a city pulsing with electricity, alive with vibrant nightlife, bold art, and flavors from every corner of the world. And now, home to the unstoppable force of women's Major League Volleyball. Inspired by the heartbeat of the city and the tempo of the game, Dallas welcomes its newest powerhouse to the stage, the Dallas Pulse.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Every match is a new opportunity. Every win brings you one step closer to becoming a champion. This is Major League Volleyball, where the sport's top stars take the court to compete for greatness. Keep watching.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
back here in Orlando. This is the tale. 25-23 Pulse in the fourth set. The edge and kills, now the edge and blocks, tied up in aces, a little bit better in terms of siding out and reception. And so with all of that, no surprise to see us heading to a fifth. Just a thought on the block, especially the way we have seen a lot of tightly contested points at the net. 6 of those 8 blocks by Dallas have come in the last 2 sets. No block in that though. Abercrombie fires out of the gates here in set 5.
And if you're Orlando, that's exactly how you want to start. You want to start with your hot hitter, which is Brittany Abercrombie from the back row on the D-ball. Her connection with Shampoo is so in system and elite.
Competitive serve there by Kaz Brown, but deep nonetheless. 1-all in this 5th set. First to 15, win by 2 for the match, whereas the first 4 sets were first to 25, win by 2. 1 challenge each side, 8 substitutions. And Savage commits the service error. Switch sides midway through this set as well. So for now, it's Dallas remaining on the left, Orlando on the right. And Shampoo goes back to serve up 2-1. Boy, this is going to be another tight call over there in the antenna. I think that's the right one. Payne into the antenna on the attack. We had a point earlier in this match where the attacker, the blocker, and the antenna all came together in like a 3-way collision. We were really close to that again, but again, that seemed to be the right call. Van Buskirk turned away by Bree Kelly, still up though. Payne picked up by Klicka. And there's an antenna fault by Vanderweide.
Kelsey Payne has been so good tonight. 15 kills overall, only 3 errors, one of which we just saw, but hitting .429 with 4 blocks. She's leading her team in blocks with 4. The next highest just has 1, so she has had a phenomenal night, has come up really big.
See if number 8 in blue can dial up some service pressure to boot. Schwann, nice first ball there. Vanderweide, the beneficiary.
Wide open net. Both Van Buskirk and Valentine Anderson are with Bree Kelly. They're going with Bree Kelly, so good for Bree Kelly selling that, running her route. Shampoo made a great decision there. No one up to block for Lindsay Vanderweide.
Just joining us, Orlando started Charity Looper and Hannah Maddox at the pin. They start the 5th set with their 2 championship veterans, Lindsay Vanderweide and Courtney Schwann, on the floor. And that is a service error by Vanderweide. 4-3, that'll send Kaylee Cox back to the service line. Tight. And Bree Kelly puts it away. We saw one of those plays earlier where it looked like it might be going over. The timing and the touch of Shampoo on full display.
Shampoo is so good at avoiding the net. She's not in the net. She's got great body control, reaching over, keeping it on her side. It's really fun also to watch Bree Kelly come into herself here in the pros. She's had a standout match.
Collier, strong block by Orlando, still up. Out of system coming from Kelly in toward the net and put down by Collier.
Tough situation for Bree Kelly. They're not usually used to setting out of system balls. Overset there. We knew this one would be tight. It's been back and forth. The stats don't lie. You see it on the stat sheet. Both teams having pretty efficient performances, and so this is on par. Now the Valkyries up by 1.
Jelly Sear will check in as a serve sub. Pass. And Schwann goes into the top of the tape. No touch on the block. Orlando's not going to contest that. That's a great call by Suzanne Lowry and Michelle Prater. No reason to.
And look on serve receive how much space Pusic is taking up. She takes up a lot of room on serve receive, but that last pass was really good by Schwann.
Another good pass, that time by Vanderweide, but better at the net. There is Tristan Savage. That is what 6'7" will do for you.
6'7" and long, invasive over the net. Good timing as well. And then staying on Kaz Brown, tracking her good eye sequence to get the block.
First flip of this 5th set, and Dallas leads 6-5 now. Make it 6-6. We're tied once more.
Service errors always hurt, but especially in a 5th set, you're only going to 15. It just means that much more when you miss a serve. Valkyries now 2 service errors, and that will be Dallas Pulse's second. So they're tied at 2 service errors in this 5th set.
Abercrombie serves. Collier dug up and over by Vanderweyde. Collier again kept up for a split second by Vanderweyde. But Collier records yet another kill.
There's that decision making coming into play that Coach Windsor said she's working on with Mimi Collier. Taking something off of it with a power tip. Seeing that the defense is scrambling a little bit. We've seen a little bit of everything from Collier tonight.
Approaching 20 kills. As Brown off speed, off 1 foot. Usage digs cross. Abercrombie off the D-ball. Another look for Abercrombie off the D-ball, and the off speed goes into the top of the tape. A couple of times Orlando has tried to take some off and ends up coming up empty. We'll switch sides with Dallas hitting 8 points here in this 5th set with a slight edge and perhaps a chance to reverse sweep the Valks. Back here in Orlando, midway through the 5th. After winning sets 3 and 4 to get us here, Dallas finds themselves leading 8-6. They've swapped sides. The Pulse are now on the right side of your screen, serving the Valks on the left. Kaz Brown off 1 foot, and the lead is down to 1.
It's a good pass. I talk about it a lot, but in the 5th set, the serve and pass game becomes so imperative because you're only playing to 15, and whoever can outbeat the other one is going to have a major advantage in that area, because when you get the pass like that, you can run Kaz Brown on her bread and butter, which is the slide.
Orlando brings in the dub sub. Collier, good stab there by Schwann. Chimay off the right. Tight. And Orlando wasn't ready for the redirect. They popped it over, Collier popped it back, and it finds the floor.
A little bit of a trap set, so good job from Mimi Collier getting that over, and as a communication error by the Valkyries, a couple players saying go, go, go to each other. That will happen from time to time.
9-7. Vanderweyde. Caught some hands, might have also caught the end line. Yeah, it was close regardless, but catch in the hand certainly helps the cause. It'll be a kill for Lindsay van der Weide. And the lead is down to 1.
And now Natalie Foster back to serve. Arguably one of the best servers, if not the best server in the league.
Already does have 1 ace in this match. Handled well, though. Cox into the cross court. What a big swing.
Cox coming off of the bench, being such a difference maker for this team. I also need to give credit to Kylie Murr, who I haven't said her name enough. She's been absolutely phenomenal tonight, leading everyone on the floor in digs, but she's also done a really good job at controlling that first ball contact for the Pulse.
15 digs for Murr, and of course those first ball serve, receive passes, they don't really show up in terms of a numerical value. She's done a good job with them. Van der Weide turned back by the block. Schwann there to cover. Shemaine has to reset. Cox tools it off the block for the kill. The lead is 3.
Good follow through there by Kaylee Cox, driving that ball hard off of the hands. Great set. Valentine Anderson has been doing a great job at finding the hot hands while also mixing it up. But we'll see her go to Kelsey Payne a lot when Kelsey's hot, and then we'll see her go back to Cox when Cox is in a rhythm.
Izzy Martin serves. Kelly out of the middle off speed. Payne off the block, covered by Valentine Anderson. Out of system. Pin feeding pin, Collier to Cox. Abercrombie off the D ball, no touch. Point Pulse. Timeout Orlando, with Dallas closer to the finish line than the Valks are to Dallas.
Brittany Abercrombie's been set 5 times in this 5th set. She has 1 kill and 2 errors, hitting -400, which are numbers you don't usually see from Brittany Abercrombie. But what that means is another player is going to have to step up in these big moments and going to have to get the kill. But right now, Dallas is in a rhythm. They are playing really good defense. They're having some really good block touches. The block touches in general have been really good tonight. But they're in a rhythm right now. They only need 3 to win. The Valks need 4 to catch up.
If you're Orlando, where do you go? Do you go back to Abercrombie and trust her to figure it out? Do you try to find another matchup somewhere?
I think it's honestly dependent on the pass. If the pass is off the net, Brittany Abercrombie's in the back row right now. She's a really good outlet for that D-ball. If the pass is on, Brie Kelly's been really good in big situations. So depending on the pass, we'll see.
It's going to be Abercrombie. And the cross court dug by Valentine Anderson. Out of system for Cox. And covered again by Valentine Anderson. Payne off the right. Pusic keeps it up. Cox into the cross court, dug by Pusic. Abercrombie turned back to the floor.
Give Kaylee Cox the MVP of this match if the Pulse win. She's been phenomenal on both sides of the net. Good scramble play by the Valkyries. Pulse gets another chance. But here's the play to finish it. The block, good press, turning those palms back into the court. Really disciplined.
And could that be the end road? Could that be the moment that gets Orlando out of that rotation? And could that be something that looms large enough? We'll see.
Brittany Abercrombie in the front row now. Shampoo back to serve, so they'll have all 3 attackers.
Van Buskirk still up, but now out of play outside the antenna, and that will bring up match points for the Pulse.
This is the decision-making of Valentine Anderson that's been really good time and time again inside out. When the pass has been to her, she's run through the middle. Van Buskirk's been so efficient.
Abercrombie, dug by Payne in the cross court. Collier out of the back row and down. Dallas flips the script and the scoreboard on the road and reverse sweeps the reigning champs.
Mimi Collier finished the night with 20 kills, only 2 errors, hitting .409. Kaylee Cox came off the bench, did such a good job being a spark plug for this team. We saw Malaya Jones get 2 kills coming in off the bench. I just think overall, this is a huge team win for the Pulse.
So high fives all around. A very fun match, a well-played match by both sides. What to you, Madison, made the difference? What was the element or some of the elements that flip this thing in favor of the Pulse?
I think the role players like Kaylee Cox coming off of the bench and just providing such a spark for this team. They dropped the first 2 sets, then she comes in, she makes an impact. I also think Kelsey Payne had one of the best performances so far this season, if not her MLV career. They just had different players stepping up when it counted, and overall played a very clean 5th set.
15-9, the final in the 5th. Dallas reverse sweeping Orlando. Madison, we talked about some of those key playmakers, some of the key moments in this match. Looking ahead for each of these teams, right? Dallas has a chance to go on the road and continue to be the road warriors that they are showing that they are clearly at this point at Columbus, at Indy. Orlando's going to go to Grand Rapids and Columbus as well. So the road doesn't really seem to get any easier at all for either of these teams. But this is really what the MLV is. It really doesn't seem like there is a decided favorite on any night. The parity is just so real.
And it's exactly what Amy Pauley said. She said no team is going to come in and beat another team 4 times. It's going to be back and forth. Every single match is going to be a battle. I think most matches I've called have been in 5. I don't think I've had a sweep yet. I mean, just the talent is so elite, and it's the best it's ever been for the MLV.
So we welcome Dallas into the league this year, and all of a sudden the Pulse are 3-1, tied with Indy atop the league. Madison, what do you make of that?
I love that. I think it's it's just so cool to see the league grow. The new team coming in can be as good as they are. Coach Windsor did such a good job of putting together a completely new team. She did a great job in the draft with Mimi Collier, who had over 20 kills tonight. So just overall, really impressed to see what the Pulse can do in their first season.
Meanwhile, for Orlando, they fall to 3-2. Impressive wins to start off the year, finding a way against Grand Rapids, taking care of business in Viejas Arena over San Diego, then going on the road and winning in 5 in Omaha. Not an easy place to play. They were the road spoilers in that one. This is a team that won a championship a year ago, retains a lot of that flavor, added some talent themselves. I think in the long term, Orlando's going to be just fine. But what has got to be some of those next few steps for the Valkyries to improve things here in the immediate?
I think next steps could be finding 2 outside hitters that you want to ride with. Like if 1 or 2 of them can separate themselves. She's playing with all of them. The depth is really good. But I think next level, having 2 girls that can step up and finish the game will be really big for them. But overall, Coach Amy Pauley said it's a super long season. We play so many games. You're going to lose. You can't get all the way to the championship and win. So every single loss, I used to say you win or you learn. And so tonight, the Valkyries learned something.
Yeah, exactly. When you don't get what you want, experience is what you get. If you're Orlando, you gain some experience tonight. If you're Dallas, I think you're finding out some things about this team who continues to impress.
Absolutely. It was a really fun night. I love another 5th setter, and it was a blast to call.
It was a lot of fun calling it with you, Madison. Also, some warm regards to all our friends around the MLV, particularly in Columbus. We understand, obviously, the Atlanta-Columbus match has been postponed until the sleet, the ice, and the snow subside. A lot of folks around the country are dealing with it. If you are, wherever you are, please stay warm and please stay safe. We've got a lot of fun volleyball coming your way the rest of this season, and we certainly hope that you guys are in good standing and able to enjoy it with all of us as this MLV season continues. It's been a lot of fun here at Addition Financial Arena, where Dallas flips the script and flips the scoreboard, Madison.
They came in and shocked some people. They came in, made a statement after taking down Atlanta, coming here and taking down the Valkyries. Really well done, the Pulse.
A hug and a celebration well-deserved for Dallas, who again goes on the road to Columbus and Indy. Orlando heading to Grand Rapids and to Columbus themselves. Madison, you and I will be right back here February 6th and 8th for Atlanta and Omaha, taking on the reigning champs of Orlando. Should be a lot of fun. For Madison Fitzpatrick, the entire crew, Sean Davison signing off from Addition Financial Arena, where the reigning champs won sets 1 and 2 over Dallas. But the Pulse found a way late, winning sets 3, 4, and 5 in reverse sweep fashion to improve to 3-1 and atop the league.
Club.